I was offered the honorary fellowship by the University of Northampton and then more recently asked to become Pro-Chancellor, I realised that the reason I was so keen to do it, I think, is a sort of guilt I have. I mean, a ridiculous guilt really, but my mother and my father were both the first people from their northeast villages to go to university, or in my mother's case, teacher training college. And that's a big thing, that. My mother was a teacher, my aunt and uncle were head teachers, my sister is a teacher, two of my nieces are teachers, four of my cousins are teachers. To not have been a teacher in my family was is quite a big deal. So to some degree I'm making up for that, but also it's because the story of my family across 3 generations now is the importance of education. You have to take a particular responsibility in one faculty or area of the university. So my things are journalism, theatre and literature and the arts. I went to University College London because I always loved English and it had the best English department and it really was amazing. I wanted to be a journalist and I hadn't really done anything about it, and then I met this man on a train who had a business card, which is the best business card I've ever seen. It said Managing Director of The Universe. The Universe is still going, is a Catholic newspaper. He gave me an internship and I went there. And then I was incredibly lucky. Within a few, months actually, I was writing for the Times, the Sunday Times, as a freelance. I was involved in the startup of the Independent newspaper in 1986, which was very exciting. Then the Independent Sunday in 1990, writing about politics, television, culture. I did various things in radio and TV, but then I launched the Lave Review, which we did for a long time, 20 years or so on Front Row on Radio 4. Interview series Mark Lawson Talks To on BBC 4. And then I've also written I think it's 5 novels, and there's another one next year, which I'm just finishing. And then there are 24 radio plays, and that's a whiz through my career. The thing I've learned from interviewing more than 3,000 people across all fields, politics, culture, sport, is that in virtually all cases, the people who are best in any field are the people who've worked hardest. And people never want to hear that. I mean, people say, who would you like to have interviewed who you haven't? And there aren't that many. Kylie Minogue probably is she's the one that got away. I've always had quite an intense relationship with the University of Northampton because on at least 46 Saturdays or Tuesdays a year, I see University of Northampton on the front of the shirts of Northampton Town FC. It's quite big, the relationship between the University of Northampton and Cobblers, the football team, particularly. It's not just sponsorship. There are placements for students, journalism placements. You have to be careful as a journalist about quoting taxi drivers, but one of the best things that ever happened to me actually was I got a taxi somewhere and the taxi driver said, I did get quite emotional actually, because he said, I'd just like to say thank you, it was you and Melvyn Bragg, you gave me my education on television and radio. And I thought, wow. And you know, that's why you do it. We would always have been told at the BBC, Melvyn and I, that only posh middle-class university graduates watch your stuff, and it's just not true. I think arts journalism is a form of teaching. I think there is an educational role there, and I've tried to do that. But now I am actually attached to a university, so my late mother would be very pleased.